Oh, guys, so this is it. I mean, really, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. We're talking about the big bore, what we're going to do to the big bore, all these different parts and pieces we're adding on. But the most important part of the big bore is the heart, and that is the 131 that Chris is fixing to install here at Pig Trail Harley-Davidson. And Chris has it all laid out, so we're going to view it all. We're going to pick it up, smell it, scratch it, and show each piece to you guys right now.
The Ornery One presents the Big Bore Build Series here on YouTube, where we take a 2022 Harley-Davidson Road Dog Limited and build a touring performance bagger, which will be known as the Big Bore.
Of course, I asked Chris the other day about it, and he was like, oh, hell yeah, man. The difference is massive amount.
Here's your free sticker.
Yes. Hell yeah, thank you. It's official.
We love stickers.
Okay, Steph, Screaming Eagle sticker. Got it.
It's gonna be the front cylinder, because the cylinders on an M8 are front and rear, which is different than a twin cam or an Evo. It didn't really matter. Always a good rule of thumb is always put it back to where you found it, with just mechanic stuff. But they are front and rear. It has to do with the fitment on the for the push rods.
Very cool. Something you may not know. I did not know that. Front and rear. So I suppose this would be the rear.
Yes.
Let's hope.
It's gonna be the rocker
What
boxes.
gaskets do they use? Do you have any idea?
We do use, Harley does use a kinetic style head gasket with a 3-piece multi-layer, then a regular just your base gasket is a metal gasket also. Gotcha. And then you have a combination of O-rings, metal gaskets, and regular gaskets, new style gaskets for the rest. So, wonderful little badge.
Oh, yes, the badge. That's right, guys.
We got new head bolts because they are a torque to yield bolt, so therefore one-time use only. There are Screaming Eagles that are out now that are multi-fit. There's other aftermarket companies that have stronger ones, but the kit, a stock bolt it's a one-time use only. And so we come with nice new ones right there. This be our 517 cam.
517. So Chris, real quick, I've got to ask this a lot. Do you get to pick a cam in the 131?
When you get the big bore kit from Harley, it comes with a cam. It comes with everything pretty much that you need to do the build. So you have your gaskets, you have your cams, we got new lifters, we got the upgraded cam bearings. So
their cams though, you don't have like a torque option or high or the horsepower. It is what it is with
it's a horsepower cam because of the big bore.
Right. So I've had a lot of you guys reach out and ask, like, are you doing the torque cam or the horsepower cam? Well, in this kit, it is what it is.
517.
It's 517, right there. Oh, yeah, that thing. And
bigger injectors for our new 64 millimeter intake. It comes also with big bore, you need more air. So.
More air. Oh, yeah. Whoa. And that is a 60 or something?
64.
64. So I know we did a 55 on ours, I think, or something.
Yeah, that was actually the intake track, what you did. That was a bigger intake track. This actually comes with a bigger intake track and throttle manifold. Intake manifold, that's what I was trying to say. That's the upgraded cam bearing we were talking about earlier. And we'll show you the difference on all that stuff. So,
look at that. Stuff that makes us go down the road faster. And the pistons.
this is when we start seeing the big difference in the kit versus the Ooh, and the new heads. Port and polished, bigger valves.
Port and polished and bigger valves. I want to hold it. Port and polished with bigger valves. That's how you get the bigger bore even better. Port and polished, bigger valves. That's how we get the big bore happy. Welcome to the big bore build, buttholes. Oh man, that's so cool.
So as we were talking about the cooling on it,
Okay.
so the coolant will come in here, will circle around, but it's only circling around the exhaust port and then going out because that's the hottest point of the whole motor. It's right here. So that's what they're trying to keep cool.
Okay.
Because it's so, that's the most.
So really to say this is a water-cooled engine is not really, it's
Not at all. Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah, it is a, that's why they still refer to it as twin cooled, because the only part of this, of the engine that's actually water cooled is the exhaust.
So
Basically the exhaust port.
and if I got a hole in that or something, I could still run without worrying my engine's going to get too hot.
Oh no, yeah. If your light comes on and says that you're overheating, you're not overheating. All it's trying to tell you that there is a problem, an issue with the cooling system, with that. But what will happen is the computer's smart enough to know. It says, okay, how does it cool? What it does is add more fuel.
Yeah.
It goes into a more rich map. It's just like the air-cooled versions of it, and then they just go into that map, and then that's
So-
how it's fine. It's running because it's
I was-
still twin cooled. So.
Talking to Chris a couple of weeks ago about this too, and I was like, well, they couldn't ride their bike because they said it was overheating. Chris goes, no, you can go ahead and run your bike. You're not going to tear it up. It's not going to anything like that. It's just, like I said, it's going to readjust. And of course, you're going to have your water running through around your manifold. But, so, I thought I'd throw that in there too because I find that interesting. And I love playing with my heads. No, too much. Look at that. So this is one thing that Chris said that they had already revived and had an upgrade on the oil pump. So that's one thing we decided to go ahead and reorder and get the newest ones they had, and that's what you're looking at here.
Which is the only time you get to see it. The big thing with this is now with the screens and the filter on there, and there's a magnet in there, and it just produces way more on actually oiling the M8, especially for the bigger bore. So that's what I like about it. Like I said, they kind of looked at some other companies out there that had a few oil pumps out there, and they kind of like looked at what they did, and they went back and redesigned it, and then they did a really good job.
So Chris, we're looking here, comparison of the heads, and then the comparison of the pistons and the jugs.
Yes.
So right off what I see here, and of course we've upgraded the oil pump.
Yeah,
Chris has got this laid out as well. So everything that you're seeing here, Chris took off our stock bike, and then like I said, upgrade to that 131. A massive difference here, I can tell.
Well, you notice number one, there's a screen here. There's not a screen here.
Yes.
So that's extra protection for the motor that's actually going through. And there's actually a magnet. You see that? No magnet. Yeah. So that magnet, if any kind of particles or anything else are going to go to the magnet, it's going to go to the screen. Huge actually protection on what's going through there, because any little particles and everything else, like, I mean, you can look at the old twin cams and everything else, like basically the tensioner failures that we had.
Yeah.
A little bit of that tensioner will get stuck in here, or even anywhere else, and it will cause problems with the oil pump.
So let me ask you, can you get this stuff out once it gets in there? Does it have a way, you never go back in there and clean it out though, do you?
Well, the screens are designed to keep everything there. So, I
Okay.
mean, it's to keep the little particles out that will cause, and two, has to do with little trash getting into the oilers, like we were talking about underneath.
Right.
Is to keep that stuff from going in there and then clogging up those oilers.
So once it hits that, it goes nowhere.
It just stays right there,
Okay.
and it will go. So.
That makes sense.
Yep. So that's a big thing. The size of the rotors are pretty much the same because it was a little bit bigger, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Not really much, because this was the same size. It was just the internals what they really upgraded with the magnets, and it does flow a little faster. So.
All right. Well, that's the big upgrade right there for sure that we're seeing on that piece.
Yeah. So a little bit bigger, like I said, but the main thing was just the protection right here with with the new Screaming Eagle oil pump.
So
The plate's pretty much, this is iodine. It's just a little bit better material. You can tell it's heavier. It's more heavy duty.
yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, that's quite a bit of difference actually.
Yeah. That's a lot more beefier. That's anodized, so it's built aluminum. So it's definitely built for performance and strength.
And then we get into this, of course, which
Yes.
is better.
That's our seal for the back. It actually seals the two compartments off, the crank and the cam chest. So therefore that negative pressure won't happen.
Yes, because it was happening where it was bringing it back and forth.
It was
pushing it over.
Like I said, the first M8s in 18, we were having problems with pressure.
We had that happen.
Yes.
Yep. So
17, sorry.
then they came up with a way to fix it, and it fixed it. Now the next thing we're going to go to is pistons. So
Big
we're looking
difference.
at the pistons. So yeah, there's a big difference in the pistons there, as you guys can see.
Basically, it's a 4.5 stroke. So roughly about 4 and 1/4 versus right at 4.
Quite
So-
a big difference in it.
So about 1/4 of an inch.
So you can see there's about a 1/4 inch difference between the upgrade of the 131 and the stock 114. Then, whenever you go to the jugs, you can definitely see what's going on here. I'll bring it down here where they, of course, they've had to make room to make that big piston move.
You could definitely get some piston slap in that one.
Yeah, clack, 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 clack. And then, of course, we go over here to the heads here, and we've got bigger valves in there, as you clearly see there. And then, is there any upgrade to be the valves and then
The valves and the port and
polished?
polished. Like I said, they just went in there and relieved everything, made it a lot smoother. So therefore airflow can go in there and actually less turbulence, because that's what you want, in and out quickly.
Make an air move.
Make that air move. You can just tell inside there
Yeah,
versus,
you can see it all in there.
granted it's dark in there, but you can just tell how much,
Oh yeah.
you see how rough it is and everything
Yeah,
else. This is all smoothed out so it can just roll right in there. So
Looks good. And then of course then we move on to the cam, which you said a 516?
517.
It's 517. And the stock one was, what was it, I wonder?
It's a stock.
It don't say, huh?
It don't say.
Well,
So
it's
you can
quite a
definitely
bit-
tell
gosh, the
on,
lobes are a lot wider.
yes.
So what we're looking at here is the sharpness of this and the roundness of this. So this is the new one. It has a lot wider lobe in it, where you see this one's peaked up. Now a lot of you guys already know this shit, so we're not talking to you.
Yeah.
We're showing people maybe just came onto this video and this is one of the few times that they've seen this side by side. So if you're watching, you already know this, been here, done that, and bought the t-shirt, you can just keep your comment to yourself. We want to just show those people that haven't seen this stuff. And that's what's fun. I've never just held them up like that. There's a big difference on there, you can tell.
Big. Like I said, that sharp is there for stock. It is just like air in and air out.
Whoop,
And then
whoop.
that's what they want back on get back on base circle, so therefore everything's fine and hunky-dory. When you go to performance, you've got to have that opened up so you can allow more air and fuel into it, so it's a bigger bang. And then also, like I said, the upgraded cam bearings in there. As you notice, a lot more rollers
Yes.
due to the fact that this is a performance cam versus a non-performance cam, which you can separate them, but they also do that for noise. So they're trying to keep engine noise down, so they will separate them so they're not rolling and touching each other. But when they touch each other like that, it's more strength, but they will allow more noise.
So, well, like I said, you'll hear a little bit more in this.
Yes,
video.
anytime you do performance work,
You'll hear it.
like performance, like I said, exhaust, cams, intake, you're all gonna, the motor is gonna start sounding a little louder, but it's basically, you're just hearing it now because it's actually working a little harder, so therefore it's gonna make more sounds.
And look at this, holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's a huge difference.
Golly,
Look at
look
this.
at that, Chris. What a, I'm
Look at that
sorry.
stock
Look
plastic.
at that piece of, I'm sorry, but it's a piece of shit looking compared to this.
Well, like I said, this
Holy
is,
crap.
like you said, once again, it's for stock, fuel efficiency, and everything else. You can get away with plastic moldings. Like I said, and it's not abnormal. You see all modern cars and everything else all have the same kind of stuff with the plastic molds and everything else, but it does not flow very good air at all.
Oh my God.
With a stock cast, you see how well that is. That's all one piece.
Yeah.
It's got veins in there. It's going to direct where you need it to go. It is much bigger, so definitely going to get that air in there so we can.
Gosh, that big bore's gonna breathe.
We got to get some more horses in this thing.
Wow, I'm excited.
The old 80 is not quite enough. So.
Not enough.
And then With that, you got to have bigger injectors to get the fuel in there. So it comes with new injectors.
Yep. So like Chris said,
You see how that goes in there and tapers in. This is pretty
Yes.
much the same size because that way we can use the same air cleaners.
Gotcha.
Universal over. Basically, you don't have to buy a brand new air cleaner just because you increase the size of your
and
motor.
this gets, of course, bigger.
Yes.
Okay, so they go in there, and
Yep.
they're going to just tell us.
They go in this fuel rail.
They tell us how much fuel and mixture and stuff.
Well, they're bigger. So actually, the little sprayers there, they're actually have a little bit bigger holes
Oh shit.
than the stock ones.
So it's like jetting it up in the old carburetors.
Exactly. It's just a computerized jetting for your carburetor. So they're going to be. So how do they do that? Is that they're going to make these holes a little bit bigger, and then they tell the injector to stay open longer. And so therefore, with the tune and everything else, you go in there and tell the map, hey, I need to be open longer to deliver more fuel to give me more power.
Yeah.
Because I'm delivering all this massive air to this now. So
And you'll be able to kind of. Will you be able to do anything, or does it do it all?
with the EPA tuner, any kind of fuel injection, it does its own mapping and learning and everything else. It's called adaptive fuel value.
So as I ride this, like we talked before, it gets you used to me too,
Yes.
and it starts.
A little bit, like I said, we're still waiting on Harleys. They're running into some problems with the new ECM they came out with in 20. They came out with a new ECM, actually 21. Sorry, a new ECM. So their smart tuner, like you had on your stage 2, which was actually was more of a wideband smart tuner. They have not come up with maps yet that meet EPA regulations, so we're still waiting on those. So, but what we've done is just gone back to the basic ones with the narrow bands, and we haven't really seen much of an issue. So, like I said, we've done a lot. Like I said, I just did when we started this, that soft tail we took out. That thing rode pretty nice. It was really nice straight lines. So,
Open up with it.
yeah. Big
Well-
difference on between the two because that was the first time I actually got a Fat Boy out on the freeway like that. And
Well, I'm gonna know as much as we ride, and I took that out the other day. I'll honest with you guys, I wasn't happy with it. My stage 2,
oh yeah, kick that thing. in the
oh,
butt.
it just
Yeah,
snop it out. So this, I'm very curious, and guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and thank Chris a lot for laying this all out for us so we can actually go through and see what it's like and take the time. Like I was saying, if you do, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. And then you can always hit that bell and you'll know when Steph releases a new video, something like this right here. How cool is this? Okay, Chris, you're fixing to put it all together.
Yep.
Put the parts together. What Chris does, he puts stuff together and tears stuff apart every day.
Okay, now if you'll just do me a little opening so I think I'll do a comparison so you can just
Your head. I'm saying cam bearing, be good, be strong, be true. Don't be acting a fool down there and getting all weird. Hold up. And of course the cam, I just want you to go round and round and make everything smoothie-ish and sound really thumpy and run really, really well. And every time I'll run up against one of those Dyna boys, you're gonna make me just go right past them. Ska! See ya, suckers. My jugs. I want you to be big, thick, and pretty. Stay cool as you can. Stay true. Do me right. And just be what you should be. The vessel of something going up and down in you. That's what you need. Up and down in you.